Have you ever heard whispers of a city swallowed by the sea, a civilization so advanced it vanished without a trace? For thousands of years, one name has echoed through history, a tantalizing mystery that continues to capture our imagination: Atlantis. This isn't just a story, it's an epic legend, a puzzle passed down through generations, and today, we're diving deep to explore it. The tale begins with one of history's greatest minds, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. Around 360 BC, in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, Plato introduced the world to an island nation of unparalleled power and sophistication. He described Atlantis as a marvel of engineering and social structure, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. This would place it somewhere in the vast Atlantic Ocean. According to Plato's account, Atlantis was a gift from Poseidon, the god of the sea. He fell in love with a mortal woman named Cleito and, to protect her, created a magnificent city on a hill surrounded by concentric rings of land and water. These rings were connected by massive canals and bridges, large enough for ships to sail through, creating a bustling circular metropolis. The heart of the city was a temple dedicated to Poseidon, covered in silver with pinnacles of gold. Inside stood a colossal statue of the god himself, riding a chariot pulled by winged horses. The Atlanteans, descendants of Poseidon and Cleito, were said to be noble and wise. Their island was rich with natural resources, from precious metals like gold and the mysterious, glowing orichalcum, to exotic fruits and animals, including elephants. Their society was a utopia of architects, engineers, artists, and philosophers. They had advanced technology, a powerful military, and a fleet that dominated the seas. For generations, they lived in harmony and prosperity, upholding laws of virtue and wisdom. But as the story goes, power corrupts. Over time, the divine nature of the Atlanteans became diluted. Greed and ambition replaced their noble spirit. They became arrogant, their hearts filled with an unjust craving for power and possession. Their military might, once used for defense, was turned towards conquest. They waged war against Athens and the rest of the known world, seeking to enslave all of humanity. This act of hubris angered the gods. In a single terrifying day and night of violent earthquakes and floods, the heavens unleashed their fury. The very earth seemed to split open, and the magnificent island of Atlantis, with all its glory and all its people, was swallowed by the ocean, vanishing forever beneath the waves, leaving behind nothing but a cautionary tale. So the big question is, was Plato telling a true story? Or was this just a philosophical fable, a parable designed to warn against the dangers of pride and imperialism? This is where the real mystery begins. For centuries, scholars have debated the nature of Plato's account. Some believe he was recording a genuine historical event passed down through generations, perhaps from ancient Egyptian priests. The level of detail in his description, the city's layout, its resources, its political structure, feels incredibly specific for a mere work of fiction. Others argue that Atlantis was a thought experiment. Plato was a philosopher after all, and he often used stories to illustrate his ideas about justice, politics, and the ideal state. Atlantis could have been a fictional antagonist, the perfect corrupt empire, created to highlight the virtues of his idealized ancient Athens. By having Athens defeat this mighty power, he was celebrating the strength of his own city's moral and political system. But what if there's a middle ground? Could Plato's story have been inspired by a real historical event, even if it wasn't a continent-sized island in the Atlantic? This is where things get really interesting. One of the most compelling theories connects the legend of Atlantis to the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete and the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini. The Minoans were a powerful Bronze Age civilization that flourished around 3000 to 1100 BC. They were incredible seafarers, talented artists, and built magnificent palaces like the one at Knossos. Sound familiar? Around 1600 BC, the volcano on Thera erupted in one of the largest explosions in human history. It was a cataclysmic event, hundreds of times more powerful than a modern nuclear bomb. The eruption blew the center out of the island, creating the crescent shape we see today, and triggered massive tsunamis that would have devastated the coastal cities of Crete and other nearby islands. Think about it. A highly advanced island civilization, master of the seas, destroyed in a single catastrophic event involving earthquakes and floods. The parallels to Plato's story are striking. The collapse of the Minoan civilization followed this event. Is it possible that the memory of this real-world disaster was passed down for over 1,000 years, growing and changing with each retelling, until it reached Plato, who then adapted it into his story of Atlantis? This theory is compelling, but it doesn't fit all the details. Santorini is in the Aegean Sea, not the Atlantic Ocean, and it's much smaller than the continent-sized island Plato described. This has led explorers and theorists to look elsewhere. Over the years, dozens of locations have been proposed as the true site of Atlantis. Some have pointed to places in the Atlantic, like the Azores Islands or the Canary Islands, which are volcanic and sit on the mid-Atlantic ridge. Others have suggested sites in the Caribbean, near Bimini, where underwater rock formations, known as the Bimini Road, were once thought to be remnants of Atlantean walls. Geologists have since determined these are natural formations, but the allure remains. The search has gone even further afield. Theories have placed Atlantis in Spain, near the Doñana National Park, where satellite imagery has shown strange rectangular shapes buried in the mudflats, sparking excitement about a possible lost city. Other, more fringe theories have suggested Antarctica, arguing that a shift in the Earth's crust could have moved the continent from a more temperate location to its current icy home. Each new discovery, whether it's an underwater ruin or an ancient text, reignites the hope that we are one step closer to solving the puzzle. The legend of Atlantis has inspired countless books, movies, and documentaries. It fuels our desire for exploration and our fascination with the unknown. It speaks to a deep-seated human longing for a lost golden age, a paradise that once was. So what is the final verdict? The truth is, we don't know for sure. There is no definitive archaeological evidence that proves the existence of Plato's Atlantis as he described it. Most historians and archaeologists today believe it was a fictional creation, a powerful myth. But the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. The ocean is vast and deep, and we have explored less than 5% of it. Who knows what secrets are still waiting to be discovered beneath the waves? Whether Atlantis was a real place or a brilliant fable, its legacy is undeniable. It's a story that challenges us to think about our own society, about our relationship with nature, and about the consequences of our own ambition. It reminds us that even the greatest civilizations can fall, and that wisdom and humility are far more valuable than gold or power. The search for Atlantis is, in many ways, a search for ourselves, for a better world, a lost piece of our own history, and a warning for our future. What do you think? Was Atlantis a real lost empire? Or is it the greatest story never proven? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the deep, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into history's greatest mysteries. Thanks for watching.